Dr. Farkas, John and I appreciate you coming in again this year for your annual review. This must be, what, 8 years now? You've met John before, haven't you?
Actually, I've met John many times, and this is my 11th year. And before we get started, I just realized I forgot my pen. I'd like to take some notes. Do you have some? Oh, thank you. And I have a bunch of questions that I really need you guys to work with me on.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Farkas.
It's Farkas.
Right.
Okay, great. Well, listen, we'll get to those questions shortly, but after we take a look at your investment review, and as you can see, I prepared yet another copy of your asset allocation. But before we get to this, may I offer you some hand sanitizer?
Actually, no, I'm a doctor, and I don't use hand sanitizer.
Okay, then.
Listen, gentlemen, I appreciate the work that you do, and I know we always talk about investment returns, but I feel like these discussions are just lacking additional information on other important areas.
Like what, Dr. Butkus?
It's Farkas.
Uh-huh.
For example, I'm going to be retiring in as little as 5 years. I'm concerned that my wife can maintain her lifestyle if something happens to me. In addition, I have the kids. I want to make sure that money goes to the kids. I have charitable intentions. I have ideas about estate planning and trusts, and I pay way too much income tax. Can't you guys help me with some of these things?
Yeah, yes, of course, I think we can help you with these things, but don't you want to take a look at just how well your investments are doing? I mean, John and I just bought these new crayons.
Look at all the crayons that we bought.
Well, listen, I appreciate the crayons. I appreciate the hand sanitizer, but I've told you guys repeatedly I'm colorblind, and I have so much more on my mind other than just talking about these investment returns.
Dr. Freckles, if you could just give us some time to review and we can get back together.
It's Farkas.
Uh-huh, right.
And I think that'd be okay because I'm going on a long sabbatical, so maybe perhaps we can get together in a couple of months.
Yes, of course, and I will tell you, Doctor, we will be much better prepared next time.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly hope so.
John, man, now what are we going to do? How are we going to get all this stuff together for Dr. Farkas?
Well, Dr. Farkas had a lot of goals and challenges that he said were important to him. And we have a lot of business partners we could use. What about doing something with them?
Jim Daniello, when are you going to be in Buffalo next? We got a big case to work on.
Guys, thanks for joining me in the war room. Rob and I had a meeting with Dr. Farkas the other day, and it unraveled like a cheap sweater. We called the heavy hitter Jim Daniello in, and he changed our whole way of helping clients plan for their financial challenges and goals. It's called asset location. Basically what it involves is taking a snapshot of people's financial resources and aligning it in terms of whether it's taxable now, taxable later, or taxed never, and then repositioning things to make it more efficient based on what their goals are. So his goals are to reduce taxes, to have a lifetime income stream for him and his wife, and then also their legacy intentions. So does anybody have any ideas on how to reposition things to make it more efficient?
Yeah, John, with the $200,000 in the bank, don't you think it would make more sense to reposition it in the tax never column by using a single premium universal life policy?
It's a great idea, Alex.
And the $1 million at Vanguard, you said there's a lot of taxable bonds. Do you think private asset management could reduce the tax liability with that bucket?
Great idea, Nick. That's also a good way to coordinate things better.
Wow, this is great. You know, moving from a conversation around asset allocation to asset location. Can't wait to start using this with clients. This is good stuff.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for your ideas. Rob, what do you think? Rob? Rob, are you okay?
Oh, this itch is making me tired.
Dr. Farkas, great to see you again.
John, good to see you again.
So, Rob and I spent a lot of time preparing for this meeting. We brought in business partners. We talked to our colleagues who gave us some great ideas. We're really excited to share with you what we have to offer.
Sounds good. I appreciate the work you guys put in, especially after the way the last meeting went, so thanks for that. But before we get started, please tell me, how's Rob doing?
I'm glad that you asked. It's the weirdest thing, but messing around with hand sanitizer and crayons, he seemed to have got this weird virus called hand cranititis. Do you know anything about that?
You know, I did read an article years ago about it. It's extremely rare. In my understanding, the only antidote for it is a Callapalooza, but unfortunately that's illegal.
But not in the Northeast, I heard.